Hello music learners, and welcome to my video about chords. Hello, my name is Rostella and I am your Italian music teacher. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, of course on YouTube, and you can visit my website theoryvirtuoso.com. Sign up to my newsletter because I'm giving loads of teaching and learning material for free. For example, today's video can be paired up with an ebook including all that I'm saying today and more. You can watch this video and split the screen so you can read and watch at the same time. The ebook can be downloaded for free if you sign up to my newsletter. It will stay for free for a month, so make sure you don't miss it out, and you can refer to it when you need to prepare for an exam, to revise, or if you want to check your knowledge. In the ebook, in fact, you will have quick tasks, a test to revise your knowledge, links to short videos and much more. If you are preparing for a Grade 5 Theory exam, don't forget my fast track to Grade 5 Theory. It's a course that you can find on my website along with other courses about terms and signs in a way that no one can tell you about, because I am Italian and I will tell you all the secrets about each term. The link is below, don't miss it out. Now, shall we start? What is a chord? A chord is a group of notes, two or more notes, that are played at the same time. However, we don't just pick random notes to create chords, otherwise it would be too easy, right? So the group of notes need to be arranged in a certain way. Each note should be a third apart from the previous one. If you don't know what a third is, I've got an ebook about intervals and a video about intervals. I'll link it below or in the card up here. The chord notes could be 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, up to 7. And we say that the chord is called a dyad if it's made up of 2 notes, a triad if it's made up of 3 notes. And do you want to know the names of the chords if there are 4 notes, 5 notes, 6 notes or 7 notes? Get the ebook. Or if you know them, comment it below. The chords could be of 2 kinds, major or minor. A major chord is a chord in which the first 2 notes are a major third apart. So the chord is major. When the 2 first notes are a minor third apart, the chord is minor. For example, can you tell me if this chord is major or minor? Think about it and pause the video. If you said that this chord is major, you were right. This chord is G major and it's made up of G, B, a third apart, and D. In some of the videos, I say that you can also use this system. So you have one note on, off, on, to see if your chord is correct or not. I said that chords need to have its notes arranged in a certain way, but sometimes we smash the keys of a keyboard like that. Watch this. This is not a chord, but it's called cluster. It's a group of notes that don't create a specific chord, but it's a sound that is a bit dissonant, a bit uncomfortable, a bit off-putting, but it's very much used in contemporary music, classic contemporary music, or jazz or something like that. But it's used to create a specific dissonant, a little bit clashy sound effect. The chords can only have one name. For example, this is G minor. But depending on the key of the piece in which we find it, we can call it in different ways. And these ways relate to the degree of the scale of the key of the piece. So a piece is in a key. This key has a scale. The scales has degrees, and the chords built on each degree form chords. Chord 1, chord 2, chord 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So we can pick any of the notes of a scale and create a chord that could be major or minor depending on the accidentals there are in that. So for example, this is G major again, but if we want to make it minor, we need to add this flat here, so to create a minor third. If we are in G major, for example, we will have F sharp. So if we go on to the 5th degree, so chord 5, in this case built on D, we will have F sharp on it. We will, of course, but music is varied and composers sometimes change the root to make music diverse and creative and not always dull and flat and obvious. So for example, in a G major piece, we can find a bit with Fa, F natural instead of sharp, but this is another story. So this chord, G major, could be called chord 1, because it's the tonic triad, so it's the triad, the 3 grouped notes, build on the tonic, the 1st degree. We could then have chord 2 on the 2nd note of the scale, chord 3, and so forth, up to chord 7. The combination of chords form cadences. So the cadences are a sequence of chords, specific chords, that gives us a musical effect. We have 4 main cadences, and they are perfect, imperfect, plagal, and interrupted. The perfect cadence is 5-1. It's the sequence chord 5 followed by chord 1. It has a sense of a bold statement, bright out, and it gives us the statement that that is the key and no one can tell you otherwise. Listen to this. The imperfect cadence is a cadence that doesn't resolve onto the tonic. So it's imperfect, it's missing something. It's when chord 1, chord 2, chord 4, chord 5, chord 6 go on to chord 5. We feel that the phrase is not finished, so we have the sense of starting again and continuing the music. Let's listen to it. So we really want the music to keep going. The plagal cadence is 4-1, chord 4 followed by chord 1. And it's really grand and majestic. In fact, it was used very much in sacred music. Want to hear it? Then we have the interrupted or deceptive cadence that is made up of chord 5 followed by chord 6. In this case, the feeling is an interruption, an abrupt change of tone that was unexpected, because chord 5 makes us think that we will have a perfect cadence, but in fact we go somewhere else. We go on to possibly a minor chord, from a major to a minor chord, or vice versa. So we feel that the music is suddenly different. Oh, what? What's going on? So it is called interrupted or deceptive. Shall we hear it? I said that the chords can have up to 7 notes. Let's talk about triads. They have notes a third apart. When we have this hand position on a keyboard when we play it, this is called root position, because at the bottom of our chord is the main note. For example, the tonic triad would have the tonic here at the bottom of the chord. But the notes could be moved in a different way, and we can have a different order of the notes. These are called inversions. In each chord, we have as many inversions as the notes of the chord. So for example, if it's a triad, we have the root position and then 2 inversions. If we have a chord of 4 notes, we have the root position and 3 inversions, and so forth. The inversions are used to create variety in music and to make sure that we don't always move the hand like that on the piano, but actually we keep it nice and easy. The music can flow more easily and we have a better sound overall, and we don't make it dull. Now you know it. There is a way of writing the position of a chord. So we talked about the name, which is, for example, chord 1, the type, major or minor or diminished or augmented, depending on the intervals that form it. And then now we talk about the position, if it's root position or if it's an inversion. So the chord is inverted, we say. The root position is indicated with A or 3 and 5, or just 5, because 3 is implicit, it's like omitted. The first inversion is named as B. So for example, we have 1B or 3-6, 2 small numbers. The second inversion is called C. So for example, 1C or 6 and 4, small. Do you want to know why we have these numbers? You'll find it in my ebook. But if you want to guess, I'll give you a hint. You need to count from the bottom note. Let me know it in the comments if you know it. So for example, this G major chord can be called 1-1, 1A, or 1-5 or 3-5. That's it. If we change the order of the notes, so for example, we create the first inversion, the notes will be like this and the chord shape will change. So we have 1B or 1-3-6. In the second inversion, we will have 1C or 1-6-4. Now you know it. So how can we identify a chord when we see it? Well, first we need to reorder the notes so that we have this shape, the root position. We have one note and all the other notes a third apart. If we have a longer gap, this is not the root position. So for example, in this case, we have this chord. Clearly this is not a root position, so we need to reorder the notes. So let's have a look. We have La, Re and Fa, A, D and F sharp. So what do we do now? We move the notes so that we have this shape, and we find that this chord is in fact a D major chord because the notes are D, F sharp and A. Now, think about it, pause the video and tell me if you know the exact name of the original chord, the inverted one. Pause the video and let me know it in the comments. So in this case, we have D as the bottom note. If we would have F sharp at the bottom, that would be D major first inversion, so B. But in this case, we have A at the bottom. So it's the second inversion of D major. We cannot say which degree this D major is, in fact, because we need to relate that to a scale and we need to relate the scale to a key. But if I told you that this D major belongs to a G major piece, then we know there is G, Sol, La, Si, Do, Re. D is the fifth degree of G major. So this chord would be in fact 5C or 5-6-4. So the second inversion of the chord built on the fifth degree. Now you know it. Now, one final question. Tell me what this chord is. Pause the video and write it in the comments below. If you get it right, you know everything about chords. Thank you for watching. I hope it was useful. Get the ebook now before it's too late. The ebooks remain for free for 1 month after they are released, so don't miss it out. Sign up to my newsletter to receive ebooks, cheat sheets, links to videos, and loads and loads and loads of more learning material that will make your music theory knowledge absolutely spotless. Thank you for watching. Bye.